But we got to figure out where we left off. And the place we left off mainly is I want to make sure we are actually caching our model value here. And that would be it. Instead of doing the URL, we just need to set it as selected model. And that is my issue right there. So that should actually cache just fine now. I'm gonna click cancel. How's the snow out west? I don't have a window I can see out right now. We are expecting some snow here in the city. In typical Seattle fashion, that means that most of the grocery stores sold out of bread. And like, you know, some of the other staples. Here in Redmond, everything's fine. I was able to get milk this morning, no problem. But yeah, so far, not much here in town. I didn't actually get to make it up to Stevens Pass yesterday. No, I haven't yet. I tried to go yesterday. Highway was closed when I got there at 9, right? Probably like, let's say 10 miles from the resort. I sat there for 2 hours waiting for the highway to open up. Pretty much hit like the moment where I was tired of sitting in my car idling, turned around, like an hour later they opened up and people were riding. Which is a bummer. But it was also like 30 degrees up there, and that's like, it's not ideal when you have a bunch of fresh snow. Creates that like thick layer on top that causes everything to slough. But it does mean that things are filling in, so basically by mid next week, we should be pretty good. By mid next week, some of the off-piste things that I like to ride, right, just like right off the side of the run, should be really well filled in. I think today, or yesterday, I would have been scraping a few rocks here and there. Catching mini trees under things, you know? But yeah, especially with the way the wind is going right now. It's a westward wind, which means some of the western-facing stuff is filling in. It's gonna be really good. Yeah, I live in an apartment building, which is nice. I can just let my downstairs neighbors heat my apartment. My upstairs neighbors are a little screwed because I actually, you know, I don't like it that hot in my apartment. So I open my windows. Well, that's their fault. Yeah, I haven't turned my heater on ever in this apartment. This will be my second winter here. Never done it. If this room gets a little cold, I'll turn on the Xbox. All right, yeah, real quick. We are public over on YouTube. Just want to make sure of that. Copy that. Anyone that feels like leaving a lurk, feel free. No worries if not, though. What number are we at with our viewership, though? $2,263 watch hours. We're getting there. We're real close to that partner on YouTube level. Real close. What about a body double? And how did I get used to using Comic Sans as a font? It's just a font. What's there to get used to? As long as you can read it, you're done. Oh, I gotcha. I mean, mainly just, you know, pick the platform that you prefer. No stress. All right, so we're going to download 75 megs of data. Boom. All right, let's go back to settings, though. We got the model loaded at 75. Let's try 142. Yep, has to download that. If I go back to Tiny, model loaded, perfect. All right, so we are no longer downloading stuff that we already have downloaded. That is huge. That was incredibly annoying. And Tobbs, no, I'm using my variant. I added ligatures to Comic Sans before any of these other kids did, right? I'm like the proto-hipster. I'm the hipster that other hipsters model themselves after. That's fine. You could actually have the OG if you prefer. All of the ligatures are made with other characters from the same font, right? So the triple equals. Yeah, that's just two of the equals stacked on each other and stretched. Right? So it dog foods itself. Yep, pretty proud of it. Oh yeah, for sure. All right, so now that we are properly caching that data, the other thing we were digging into is this. Oh, the fireworks is easy. That's just power mode. You can do that. That's one of the easiest things. Yeah, makes sense there, Tobbs. I think realistically, it's just pattern recognition. You'll recognize the pattern over time no matter what. Whatever you prefer, that's all in your head. So here's what I'm wondering. I need to somehow get the return value from this. So I think there's some other like props I need to preset on module here. But I don't know what they are yet. So let's go look at that real quick. So this file here exposes out some of this stuff. Where do we see print though? See print F a bunch of times. So that only happens twice in there. So that's not it. Let's see where print error is actually used. Yeah, we see it in a bunch of their example code. And that's it. Huh. Let's go look in here in whisper.wasm, right? They are exporting print, print error, ccall, and crep. All right, and these are the functions that they're actually exporting from mscripten, right? So we see full default. So it's just init, free, and full default. Yeah, that doesn't seem right. I find it weird that we can't find where print and print error are wired up. Right? Like, we can't find a good place where this seems to be used. I'm so surprised that we didn't see print error anywhere else other than like these snippets. Ooh, and yeah, real quick, Zepti and Luis, thank you for the follows. Welcome. So here we see this main JS file. This is where the module stuff is kind of happening. Let me do one thing. We're going to copy this, paste it in here. We're going to try and format it. Yeah, there we go. So we got this formatted version. We're not in a node environment. We are in a web environment. Let's look at some of this. Wait, what? Why is this even here? If environment is web or worker, right? Like, it's already an else. Like, this would never happen. This is not possible. They've got this empty else right here. Wow. I don't think I wanted to see how the sausage was made. Nope. I really, really didn't want to see how the sausage was made. Ooh. But I do want to see how the lemonade is made. So give me just a second. I'll be right back. I'm going to get me some lemonade. Or some lemonade mix. Alright. Got me my lemonade mix. Grabbed myself a few more of these shrimp chips. They're so good. This flavor I've never had before either. Yuzu and black pepper. Pretty good. All right, so as we continue looking through these, let's double check. So we see aha. We see default print error. In Node, they write to a disk. Yep, okay. So this is basically where they have their default. If we didn't set it ahead of time, they would have logged for us, and that's fine. Where is this being called? I think that is the big part. What is air in that context? So that's not it. Right, error number. We don't care about that part. I don't even see it in this area. What's up, iReal? How you doing? Yeah, let me pour my lemonade. Wink. And I'm not really seeing where it's trying to do this, like, print logic. Right, like, I know where we define it in what it's looking for. I don't know where it's being used, because that would help me figure out if there's some other thing I could do too. Out's only used 102 times. That's no big deal, right? Well, yeah, that would probably be part of it. Okay, so it's just getting assigned right there. We see out index, out pointer. Don't care about those. Output parts, nah. It's even better. It's drama sans. Sans the drama. You see any edges? Nope. How's your code gonna flow if your font doesn't flow? Which interview? The one that I had on Tuesday? I think it went all right. I definitely didn't practice enough for the, for like the cross-team collaboration interview. The one with Solana, I think, went all right. That one was for a DevRel role. I think that one would be cool. I also got lucky on the Solana one. They basically asked, like, well, what's your expected salary range? And because I've never done DevRel officially, I was honestly able to say, I don't know. What's a reasonable amount? And they told me a number that was a reasonable amount. So that was good. I got to honestly say, I don't know. Because I hate being the first one to say a salary range. It really pigeonholes you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think Solana would be interesting. Like, I think it's tricky because I'm definitely not like a crypto, like, bro. I see a lot of value to things like NFTs, but I don't think anyone's really done it right yet. Right, and all the cash grabs definitely mess things up. Maybe. Did I not stir this enough? Let's Seems like very little lemonade mix went into that. I think I messed up. But it's fine. What we're trying to do right now is figure out how to get the output from whisper.cpp. It's pretty good, Christos. You take breaks while you're coding anyway, you know? But like anything, it does take practice. All right, so I think this is the tricky part. There is no explicit place that we see, like, the result happen, right? Put character is probably being called somewhere, right? Maybe not. So where is tty.output happening? Wow, anything fiddling with tty output really just follows the same pattern. Yep, so tty.output is not what we're looking for. This is all that WASM chunk. So there's basically nothing we can discern inside of the WASM here. We could modify how data gets sent to out here. We could add a prefix to the string that it gives us, and then we could just look for that prefix. Yeah, we could wire up an event that we broadcast to from this print. And then we could just establish a listener to that event. I think I like that idea. right, so 1 sec. We got PNPM running. Let's just fire up ngrok. I will test it over here on the dev machine, simply because I don't have a microphone on my Mac Mini. Looks like we already had it open. I think we can just refresh. Oh, wait. Oh, but it's a different domain, so we're not going to have any of those books. Ah, right. Which means none of our storage is going to be the same either. I may want to give it a persistent name, but we're good for now. So let me at least show you what we're seeing over here on the stream machine. There you go. So there it is. We're downloading the base model. It is doing its fetch remote magic. There we go. That downloaded. Now we need to go actually find a book that's real. Boo. We're gonna create a chapter. Is it bar? Yep, there we go. I can barely see the computer down there, or the keyboard. So yeah, no snippets so far. We create a snippet. I need to get rid of that foo text. That's lingering. But with our new snippet, we should be able to record. We do an allow. Check, check, check. Microphone check. We should see something get logged here at the bottom. Yeah, it shouldn't take much more than like 10 seconds or so. So we're just not getting that result. Which is weird, because when we compare it to whisper.cpp, we can do base, sure. And that's going to download again. Most of the stuff you see here in that space is actually being logged as well. Now, like, user media is easy. So we start the microphone there, we do an allow, check, 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 microphone check. We hit stop. Audio recorded. We hit that button, and pretty quick, right? 10 plus seconds-ish. We should see the result log now. Yeah, we do an allow. We get a timestamp for it. Wait, that's it? I think it picked up the music? Huh. What? Check, check, check. Microphone check. Hello? Hello? Right, we see the audio gets recorded. And the audio got recorded in our thing too, right? That's important to recognize because this like audio recorded size is from the exact sample. So we are getting a recording in our code. But it's probably constant bitrate instead of variable, so we don't know if there's actually data in that thing. It may be an empty string. So maybe part of debugging this would be to record our audio and have a playback button for it to hear what the app heard. Let's click transcribe and see what they get from it. Forgot to click that button. Oops. Oh yeah, way different logs. So this is like totally fine. Check, 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 microphone check. Hello, hello, blank audio. Bam, nailed it. So that one is giving us output. This one does not. I think I just broke it, but I don't know how. Looks like it tried to block on the main thread. Oh. And we've had this problem before. All right. Oh, yeah, pause that. So let's get back to it. So that's the main bug we have there. There's like a pause happening on the main thread that is just not ideal. It seems to happen only when we do a subsequent download. Yeah, we get that. That one's fine. We need to persist what our previously chosen model was, too. That's getting a little annoying right there. All right, so we got our model. It's definitely loaded. Check, check, check. Microphone check. Now I think this is the bug we just ran into. If I hit this again, it thinks it's still recording. And then we end up blocking on that main thread. Aha. So I think we've just got a major bug with how we're actually managing that recording. So let's go look at that. I think so, or it may not. Like, here's the thing. the Chrome browser actually pointed out that it had stopped listening to the mic. But the fact that we're not resetting that timer properly means that we might not be doing something else properly either. Take it easy, Harper. That's what we're doing. Right? Set is recording is fired from a bunch of places, but are we doing it in the right place? Now, we do see that we commented this, so maybe that's part of it. I'm trying to remember why we commented that, though. So that is probably it. This is our use microphone hook. Right, and when we call it, we have this finished callback, which gets called here. Yep, this is where our JS audio recorded happens. So yeah, I think that's definitely part of it, the fact that we commented this out. I think we did that mainly just to, like, fiddle with it and test it. Oh, and this has no microphone. Right. So we don't actually get that. So we have to test it over here. All right, let me refresh real quick. Let me show you the display capture again. One, two, three, microphone check. Oh, and you can't see the URL right there, so you can't see that the microphone definitely stopped being used. When we look at this, it does reset, and we're good. Okay. But we end up doing the blocking on the main thread is very dangerous. Where is that even happening? Right, we see that our warning is happening there. But they don't really give us any info about, like, where that block is happening. And because it's an mscripting thing, I might not even have access to that. The fact that we are blocking the main thread here, though, is a huge problem. It means that I can't even refresh the page. HTTP call? For the most part, we don't concern ourselves with HTTP calls. All this stuff is happening local in the browser. We have no HTTP requests other than our download for the model, and that's it. Everything else is separate. So when we do this part, sure, right, there's HTTP. Everything else is local to the browser. We're using SQLocal for our database, which is SQLite compiled to WASM, and then running and connecting to the OPFS, which is the Origin Private File System. And then we also have whisper.cpp, but that is also local WASM that is doing the transcoding. So there is no like server to do any of this logic. So there's no like server interaction that I would expect to look at. And yeah, thank you for the follow, Ayasha. Welcome. Yeah, the permission denied by system issue. I just need to go to the P.O. box and pick up a microphone I had delivered. Ooh, that does remind me I need to also purchase an SD card. Jeez, are they really that spendy? I don't need one that big. I basically just need an SD card for my camera in the kitchen, so I need like the cheapest one possible. It doesn't even have to be fast. Sure. 128 gig SanDisk. Perfect. KH Cobb, how you doing? What you up to? Oh, and white rice flour. Not a bad idea either. All right. So yeah, anyway, back to what we're doing. Let me just do this real quick. Cool. All right. So yeah, back to what we're thinking about for this. Oh, we've actually got no snippets found right now. Yeah, that's a bug too. But yeah, interesting. There's just something I'm doing wrong that we don't see yet. So when we call whisper process audio, that does not give us any result that makes any sense. We end up waiting on some like thread or worker that's actually doing this. And we know that we're getting a log value of the audio size. So that shouldn't be a problem. Test, 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 test. Right, so I stop recording there, and we only get the result log. So snippet.tsx line 50, that's this one right here. Okay, hold on. Let's do this. No, async await does not block the thread. Async await pauses this context, which can be thought of as a generator function. The generator functions do not pause the thread. Only thing being awaited in an async await context is this like promise context. Yeah, no worries. It's one of the confusing things when people see await in languages like C#, etc. That actually is blocking a thread, right? But in any run loop based application, you just can't block the thread like that, right? Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know Java enough, but I would assume in Java, yeah, you're actually pausing a thread when you do that. So it's a slightly different thing. Let's go look at what we're doing in process audio. This is where we do the full default thing. This is where we're also setting module.print. Hold on. Hold on. Some of these keys are like fiddling with each other when they shouldn't. All right, that should be better. All right, so if we do an overridden right there, yeah, I don't see overridden anywhere in there yet. Oh, and let me show you all this output. I don't think any of those numbers actually matter. As an example there, Bisque, I think we all know people that have played guitar for 20 years and still suck at it. Right, so an appeal to authority or caring about how long someone's played guitar does not matter. All that matters is how good they are. Test, 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 microphone test. We hit stop. No, if they spend all their time playing one song, they're probably not very good, actually. Here's Wonderwall. Nah, that's a bunch of cope, Bisque, for sure. The majority of people that play guitar hit a plateau and never get any better. Where that plateau is depends on the person. Same thing with snowboarding. I know people who've been snowboarding for 20 years, and they'll never be able to learn new tricks in the park, right? They'll never be able to board slide a handrail. More than just time, it's effort. You can spend all your effort doing the basics for 20 years straight. That's pretty low effort though, right? Whereas one person who puts in a lot of effort over a short period of time can actually be way better. I know people who've gone pro snowboarding, like pro, got a paycheck and everything. They'd only been riding for 3 years. You might say, well, that's just talent. No, it's the effort they put in during the time. Time is a meaningless metric without actually knowing the effort as well. Again, it depends on what kind of consistency you're talking about. If you spend 20 years putting in 1 year's worth of learning into things, you only got 1 year worth of experience. Right? You'll in this industry, you will most likely run into a bunch of people who put in a moderate amount of effort at the beginning of the career and haven't put in any effort afterwards, but somehow think because they've been doing it for 20 years, they think they're good at it. Like, no, it's BS. It's always BS. Anyone who uses their 20 years as a reason why you should listen to them is definitely someone you should not listen to, because they should use the power of their arguments and logic rather than appealing to the authority of how long they've been doing something. Right? It's why it's a logical fallacy to care about someone's appeal to authority for how long they've been doing it. Even the person that got a free paycheck, you shouldn't listen to them just because they got a paycheck. You know, as a snowboarder. Just because you made it pro as a snowboarder doesn't mean you're a good teacher. Hell no. Often those things are actually never the same. Pro snowboarders actually don't make good teachers. Because what comes naturally to them is hard for them to explain to other people. And often really good snowboard teachers and instructors never go pro, right? They're good at teaching. They're not good at actually doing it. That's actually a universal truth as well. It is extremely rare to run into an instructor that's actually really good. As far as skiing and snowboarding goes. Yeah, you know, kind of what we do here. And always remember, none of this is a 100% thing, because 100% doesn't exist in life in general anyway. So, what we see is I don't have that overridden log value anywhere. I find that interesting. So this module.print doesn't get overridden. Which is fine, like, we don't have to care. But I do think that's odd. Them's is fighting words, Bisque. At least as far as, like, the era I come from for snowboarding. A Chad is a jock. And jocks are, like, anti-snowboarding. A lot of people get into snowboarding because they specifically don't like organized sports. When you're saying when I hit record? No, because it wouldn't even be when we hit record. It would be after we hit record. Oh, here's something that I didn't see. Ho ho ho. Audio context was not allowed to start. It must be resumed or created after a user gesture on the page. Hold on. We do a refresh. Do we see that warning? Right. Okay. So those are probably not an issue. No, we're not doing any of that yet, Lua. We just do a record button. Let me look at this. Where do we create the audio context? I believe that's down in here. Yep, okay, so this hook is fine. Context isn't even necessary. Yeah, context isn't even necessary outside of our start function. So I think that is worth acknowledging. And then we move this in here. Oh, and you guys aren't seeing what I just did. Sorry. Like, juggling these two screens is tough. My bad. So basically, we have this audio context creation happening at the top level of this use microphone hook. When realistically, I don't think we need to do that. We can just do it when we click start. So I think that's a good fix. We're gonna refresh over here again. Microphone check, 1, 2, what is this? And we don't see that warning anywhere. So yeah, we're creating that context as needed, which is fine. An additional need for its own call. What do you mean by its own call? Like, what are you talking about there? Are you saying, like, calling the context in some way? No, we only need it when we're done. Everything referencing it only happens within this function. So we're set. Ooh. Yeah, Colton. Yeah. Sounds fun. Sounds about right. Yeah, I've used PHP. It's fine. Damn, Kevin, you've been following for ages, dude. Whoa. Whoa. Well, hold up. There we go. I knew I freed up a bunch of those VIPs for a reason. Yeah, Colton, I was going to say, like, probably well-deserved payback, right? I appreciate that, Kevin. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, man, I like to honor the people that have actually been following without losing that follow for a while. Washing every blanket you have. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. They probably needed to be washed anyway. They just been sitting in a closet for a while collecting dust, right? They did you a service. Exactly. Duh. That's why they brought all of them out. It kept making them sneeze. Where's the pizza hoodie? Probably needs to be washed. It's over in the other room. A reliable FTP plugin? Not that I know of. Why do you need that, though? Shouldn't you be able to just use, like, SCP from the command line? Then you're done? Yeah, I get that, Kevin. You're probably better off having better, like, CI/CD practices, though. Deploying from your machine is a bit of a red flag. I've done it before, right? But, yeah, it's definitely not ideal. That's fine. Yeah, what you should end up doing is, like, setting up GitHub Actions to do your deploy process for you. And then it's just a git push to GitHub or a merge of a PR. Oh, like a young Pitbull? Ooh, yeah. Yeah, little balls of energy. But yeah, Kevin, I would say for, like, the next path on your learning, I would recommend, like, getting better deploy practices going. Totally worth it. So learn Circle CI or GitHub Actions or any one of them. The knowledge you take from one to the other is pretty common, right? Pretty similar. And yeah, like, get it to where that is doing your deploy for you. So it's either GitHub Actions or Circle CI or GitLab right? Whatever you're using version control, right, as your like version control provider, they typically have their own like CI/CD platform anyway. So GitHub Actions or GitLab or even Bitbucket, they all have their own pipelines. So use whichever one you're using. And if you're not using version control, well, you should do that first. And that is Git, at least for the purposes of this conversation. If you're using GitHub, that's fine. Command line is still fine as well, but yeah, like the act of deploying your project could just be a CI/CD process where once you merge a PR or just push, it just redeploys. Boom. Simple. Real quick. So, KH Cobb, I think I called that one out. Bonzera, thank you for the follow. Welcome. How you doing? Yeah, exactly, Colton. Yep. Yeah, that's a great call. All right, let's pour another one of these. We got gaming tonight, so keep that in mind. Baldur's Gate 3 night with James and Worm. That's in like an hour and a half, though. Possibly longer. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, that depends on how you feel about Atlassian. If you've ever been burned by Atlassian's outages, you may not use them anymore. If you didn't run into any problems with that, then you're good to go. I'm almost positive they lost some of my source code back when they had their like Jira outage. I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure. Right? It's the reason we can't work on StreamParrot anymore. I mean, even self-hosted has that issue, but I've never had that problem with GitLab or Bitbucket, or GitHub. GitHub has never lost any of my code. Hey, what's up, Ryan? Ryan, you see the official announcement for gradual typing in Elixir 1.18 or whatever? Pretty cool, isn't it? What up, Nate? What are you up to? Yeah, pretty awesome. And yeah, what were you up to? Oh, really? See, no one even notified me y'all were planning a raid. I'm in the guild. Where's the announcement, man? Yeah, the governance of this guild is atrocious. WoW channel in Melky's Discord. Okay. So now I just have another channel I gotta watch. Let me go look. Gotcha. Yep, yet another thing to watch. I mean, I already listed my role and everything over in the guild where we were told to do it. I see. Announcement was made half an hour ago? So their announcements happen the day of? So people can't even plan ahead? Dude, that is brutal. Right? Not even a day notice? Yeah. I don't know. Basically the same reason I gave up on WoW previously as well. All right, so let's try and think about what's going wrong here. Right, like even a couple days notice and I could have made sure I was at level 25, you know? It's just annoying. Oh, it would have been even worse if I found out about it, like, days later. Technically, I've missed a bunch already, just because no one lets anyone know. Right, there's even, like, an entire separate group on a different server and everything. Again, there's nothing in the guild charter saying, watch the channel in Melky's Discord. There's nothing in that message of the day. No, I get it, Nate. If I just had a day or two notice, I'd be there. Because I'm at like 20 or 21. Yeah, I don't know. Pretty annoyed. But anyway, let's work on what we're working on. So here's the thing, we're getting the finished callback with the correct audio size. So I think our recording stuff is fine, like this is just the same boilerplate as we're expecting. One thing we could do is maybe put it into a button or something. Or into an audio element. Ooh, I like that. Let's throw it into an audio element we can just like press play on just to see if it's there. And yeah, hold up. Nate, you're saying in the guild info tab, maybe I missed it, but the previous thing I remember seeing in the guild info tab is simply saying what roles that you would want to do and put that in your info. Is there something newer than that? And if not, yeah, I did that. Ooh, and yeah. Ooh, that's something. So yeah, we don't do that anymore anyway. We can fix that real quick. But we do need to track the audio. So that audio as it comes out of here, we don't have the audio as any state. Float 32 array. So we got our audio and our set audio. We're not using those yet. Ooh, but I'm gonna call this new audio. There we go. So then from here, yeah, what is the element? Is it just the audio element? Yeah, I'm chilling, Bob. So we see that there is a source value. Yeah, how do we use the float 32 array as an input source? We could probably data URI it. Play audio HTML from float 32 array. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering too, but I'm looking for an answer just to be sure. So it creates an audio context. We create an audio buffer. Okay, that's not so bad. All right, so after all this, we'll just do a conditional for audio. Is that Cody recommending a change for us? I think we actually do need to do that. All right, so then here, this is a button. All right, so play recorded audio. And oh wait, what was that auto completion they were recommending? Interesting. So they get us the blob, which kind of works, but we don't need to do that because instead we can just create the context. So yeah, we create the audio context, the sample rate. Just hard code this because this is just for debugging anyway. He's not even consistent with his naming in here. That looks all right to me. Yeah, so let's go look at it. Testing, testing, testing. Oh, interesting. So it's like it takes a second to queue up. Microphone check, testing, testing. Is this working? Is this working? Seems like our recording is off. Right? We get like the last, is this working? And that's it. What? Okay. Yeah, so we recorded, you know, for 10 or 11 seconds-ish, right? Our sample size, or sample rate, is 16,000. We see that the float 32 array is 163,000. So that does line up with the length of time we were actually recording. No, it's fine. It's kind of small, kind of hard to read. Okay, so I wonder... This is just a bad hook. Right? We end up seeing this a bunch of times. So we've got our stream and our recorder. I'm wondering if our blob here is the issue. I think that's it. Okay, I think that helps. So we refresh this. We do see our log statements in there. Cool. Test, 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 right? And we see use microphone called a bunch of times. I wanted to make sure that nothing else spits out of this. Now let's press play record. I think our issue is that this is a hook, and we just need to, instead of making it a hook, oh, so that's no good either. New float 32 array. I don't think that was the actual problem, but use microphone here, I think actually is. I wonder if this actually fixes that. Let's double check it. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. All we heard out of that was testing. So we push 2 chunks. Our blob is chunks.current here. Okay, so we read the blob we just created from chunks.current. We read that in as an array buffer, and then on load fires for that, and reader.result should be that value. We could cast to an array buffer. It's not ideal. But it solves that. So we try to decode the buffer. So we should at least like log out what's there. And that'll help us figure out a little bit more. Test, test, test. Test 1, test 2, test 3. Test. 3. Wait, what? So it's only catching like a portion of what we're sending through? Something's way off here. But I think that's a big portion of why our audio At least, at the bare minimum, that's why our audio's not being processed perfectly. We're not getting any log, though, as if it didn't get passed to Whisper properly. And that I'm less sure of. Okay, so here's another thing. We can get that JFK.wave audio. Our microphone capturing might be broken, but we could at least pass the JFK wave and parse that properly and pass that into Whisper and see if we get that part. So that's like another button we need to create. So yeah, we'll do that here in a sec. Let me go use the restroom real quick. No, I don't think it's a buffer overflow. It could be. I'm not sure. I'm not positive. But we can check it with just some raw audio. Oi, and I'm back. Joined what party? Like my Discord's party? Welcome. Yeah, no worries. All right, so let's try and load in. Oh, wait, was that it? Hold on, did I miss it even? Oh, the join the party part. Yeah. Yeah, meanwhile, Olavo's was, yay, you made it. Which works. All right, so as far as loading in a random audio file, how do we want to do that? realistically, we need to download the file to a blob. And then it's passing the same blob, basically, right? Yeah, okay, so I want to download that JFK wave. Hold on, let's pour another lemonade. Wink. Let me get some stuff out of my pockets. There we go. All right, so let's go grab that JFK audio wave. It's at Whisper. Here it is. We're going to throw it here in public. Why not? All right, so then this is const fetch result is equal to await. Comment that and that. Play pre-recorded audio. All right, so we fetched that. This is then going to be const fetched blob, or hold on. We can do it to an array buffer. Even better. Oh, you're right. Damn, I forgot to hide that. Good call. Good catch. Wait, array buffers don't have a length? Oh, byte length? I'm not sure I wanted the divide by 2 there. Good job, Cody. Oh, we'll just do that. Byte length should be a multiple of 4? Huh, that's weird. Is it just a warning? No, it's an error. Oh, I probably need that. Oh, yep. So that should be good now. No. Expected 1 to 2 got 3. We see that they're doing a fetch right here. Okay, so that should not be the issue there. Yeah, they still do the array buffer thing too, right? Let's look at a couple others just in case. Let's see if this is actually what we think it is. So they're not wrong. That is not what we were looking for. So number of channels, the length, and the sample rate. We're good there. When we do this, copy to channel expects literally a float 32 array. We might be able to pass an offset, but I don't know why we would want that. Hold on. So let's do this. And yeah, instead, this is just an audio. Some Discord notification. Yep, never mind. That was a different thing. Okay, so still waiting to get the result back. It definitely didn't go as well as it probably could have. But, you know, it's good practice. I need the practice. Josu, thank you for the follow. Welcome. All right, so audio doesn't actually take in anything. You can download the audio with that. Oh, I want controls on there, though. Because, yeah, that doesn't do anything.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can...
So we get audio from that just fine. Cool, Ecstasy. Yeah, that sounds fun. Okay, right, so we're able to play that audio from local. So here's one thing. So we're going to grab that, and we're going to put it into our mock button. Wait, buffer does not exist on array buffer? Oh, no, it doesn't. What's the right way to turn an array buffer into a float 32 array? Let's just try the array buffer. Oop. All right, so that doesn't yell at us anymore. Let me show what we got here. I'll try and remember to hide it when we're not using it. That one's tough, Bad Cop. I think you just have to beat it. I think you just have to finish the game. So I think what they're telling us there is that we are dying in here for some reason, and we need to really just do a log and find out why. Damn, you're level 12 already. Yeah, there is a lot to do. Yep, you're not wrong. Oh. So here's the fun part. Yeah, before when it said uncaught something in promise and gave us that 788560, that's actually the exception we're getting. 790968, same thing. I don't think that solves anything. So wait, this returns a section of the array buffer, but it's just another array buffer. Ooh, array.from. Yeah, so array buffer is not array.fromable. Oh, and you guys are still seeing the thing. So yeah. Damn, I keep forgetting to do that. So basically, I do a new float 32 array, we pass that, we do array.from, and that is on top of a UI int array we created from our fetched audio array buffer. It did not throw. We get some info that it does know the audio is 22 seconds long, which I think is right. But we get nothing out of it. So regardless, right, we're dealing with multiple issues here. Number one, we're not creating our audio buffer from the record audio button properly. Number two, we're not getting any results from Whisper when it has processed some other audio. But we do get that just fine when we are looking at Whisper.cpp's demo that they created. So there's definitely something we're not doing in the way that it's expected of us. What that is, I don't know. But yeah, what class did you pick, Bad Cop? I see result get logged here just fine. So we're getting past this. We're not completely failing on that part. So we see module.init, module.full default. This is where they're setting up the wiring for the print stuff. They unlink a file to create a new one. And this all looks about right. We know that we're instantiating that, though, right? So when we go look at our main state, right, we do that instance right there. Nah, this seems fine to me. Yeah, so I don't know. God, I keep forgetting to hide our demo there. But there's not much that you're missing from me looking at this other stuff. The main JS prints just fine. All right, so let's go load up the Whisper demo again. We load up the JFK GIF. Or not GIF, wave. Look at the console, we see audio loaded. We transcribe. Wait. we're seeing the wrong value right here. We're seeing 176,000. Over here in our project, the thing that we're parsing is 352,078. What? I don't know, Balakay. Seems like something you should probably be looking up via a Google search. And if you're scared of Google searching, then yeah, no, you're not going to be able to be a self-taught dev. Your ability to answer information like this via research and looking it up and self-teaching is the thing that's actually going to make it realistic of whether you can self-teach yourself. So the fact that you're asking us isn't a good sign. See what I'm getting at? Being a self-taught dev relies on your ability to teach yourself something. You have to ask us at the first step of things. That's really not a good step in the right direction. At CES? You mean the Consumer Electronics thing? Again, Rumple Foreskin, what I'm getting at is, if you're not able to use what's available to you on the internet and you have to ask a human being whether this thing is possible, you're already off to a really bad start. Right? The mentality that can self-teach isn't going to let someone tell them that they can't do it. Right? So you're already on the wrong foot. You're going down the wrong path if you're going to let me tell you whether you can do it or not. Like, dude, you're already lost if you're asking people if it's possible. That's what I'm getting at. And here's another big thing, Rumple. CES, that's all marketing. Who's behind those comments? Someone who owns AI stuff? Obviously, they have a vested interest in telling you that you can do it all with AI. They're not being honest that self-teaching is a mentality problem, not a smartness problem, right? Not an experience problem, not an industry problem. It's a internal mentality problem. If you're having to ask if it's possible, you've already lost. Here's another point I just want to make before I am really tired of this question. It's usually low-effort people who aren't putting any thought into the process, right? They're just going to go spam the question to someone else that gives them the answer they were looking for, right? But just in case Balakay hasn't left yet, what if I had told you no? Would you just take my word for it? If so, you're going to be a terrible self-taught dev. Just like you'd be a terrible self-taught snowboarder or self-taught guitar player or any of that. If someone tells you no and you just take their word for it, Yeah, no, you're not capable of self-teaching. Yeah, the answer is always yes. Is it possible? Anything's possible. Can you do it? I don't know you. But the fact that you're asking hints no. You know who makes it as a pro snowboarder? The people that ignore the people that say they can't do it. Right? You know who makes it as a professional musician? The people that ignore the people that say they can't do it. If you're asking and going to use the answer to that question in any discernible way, you've already lost. Sure, yeah, right? But as long as you have the confidence that if someone else could figure it out, you can figure it out too, that is the mentality you need for self-teaching. If you don't have that, it doesn't matter what someone tells you. You can't teach gumption. You can't teach, screw you, I'll do it anyway. You either got it or you don't. If you don't have that, get a degree. Like, just, that's it. No, I actually disagree. I think you need to have the emotion to tell people, screw you, I'll do it anyway. That's an emotional response. Telling me I'll never get free gear as a snowboarder? Right? You need the emotional response to tell them, screw you, I'll do it anyway. But should you, like, would that person ever ask anybody if it's possible? No, definitely not. Could you get good at snowboarding with or without lessons? If you don't have the mentality that you can, then you can't. It's that easy. If you don't have that mentality, then no, you definitely can't. If you have to ask, the answer is no. Can you learn how to do a 720 off a jump? I don't know, can you? Your answer should be, damn right, if someone else can do it, I can do it too. I think a lot of people just really lack that in the world. I don't know why people don't have that, but they don't. Some just don't. Oh, I mean, a clean 720 is still impressive. Even 15 years ago, you could go to Utah, ride Brighton, and see people doing the hula hoop while they're spinning a 720 and not care at all. It doesn't matter. No, they are impressive if done right. If you do a super clean, holding your grab all the way through 720, people are impressed. For sure. If it looks like you're doing a hula hoop midair, no one cares. Skiing's very different, Queen. Skiing is a totally different thing. That's fine, yeah. Like, skiing, the amount of rotation, people have been doing 1080s since the 80s. Right? That's a different thing. So I don't even know if you actually remember a time when 720s were truly impressive. I'm not necessarily sure that you're that old. Right? Those mogul skiers that then do like the jump real quick, they've been doing 1080s, double flippy craziness since the 80s, dude. It's never been impressive. Unless it looks good. Welcome back, Akavenge. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this right now. In the 80s, 720s off those jumps was absolutely a standard. Yeah. Dude, you can go watch the movie Ski Patrol or Ski School, I forget which one. And they got dudes doing those tricks where they, they got their hands out like the T-pose and they do the cross their chest BS to do the trick, right? Like they're a robot. Yeah, dude, that's existed since the 80s. For sure. You can go watch that movie now. Maybe you're missing it. A 360 with a flip is a 720. That has absolutely been a trick in mogul jumping since the 80s. A flip itself is a 360-degree rotation. So a flip with a twist, and you land going forward again, is a 720. They have been doing that since the 80s. You can look it up. Again, it comes down to, does it look good? And no. Go watch the movie Ski School. You will see a 720 in it. Sure. If you think movies have the best skiing ever, no. Watch the movie Out Cold. Most of that's meh. Exactly, they're insanities. That's a good way of putting it. If you're talking about the mogul skiing stuff, you're just wrong. They have been doing that, especially Olympics-wise, since the 80s. I've seen people doing 1080s off the weird little like poppy mogul jump since the mid-2000s. And they weren't even Olympic, right? They were just some random dude trying to train for the Olympics to hopefully get there, right? And that was like 1080s stock. Just doing their weird put the arm across the shoulder jump, right? They look like a robot when they do it, but yeah, man, for sure. Impressive skiing in the mid-2000s was 1620s. I'm just saying, like, queefing. I've spent my entire 20s, the entire 2000s, down at Mount Hood. We're the best of the best in the world going ski. 720s were incredibly common. They were table stakes to get free gear. Especially in skiing. In snowboarding, it was make it look pretty. I've seen no-name skiers doing 1080s for decades. Like, dude. If you're talking about just at your local resort, that's a big difference. Maybe Akavenge. Maybe. All right, so let's actually think about what is going wrong with this. I think one big part is, for some reason, our downloaded audio is not the right size. So let me double check how they're doing the data fetch. So that's the big thing though, queefing, right? A friend saying that was dope, or just a random person in the park saying that was dope, is never like the metric for that, right? You can still go do a really clean 720 and get people being impressed by it. Right? Right there in person at the resort? Absolutely. It's still impressive to see a cleanly done 720. Yeah, right? Now, if you're talking about once you get to the upper echelons of the best people at the resort, even then, you can impress them with a nice, clean 720. Now, does it mean they're going to think you're the best person at the resort? Hell no. But you're already self-selecting into the 1% of people on the mountain if you can do a 720. Still, no matter what. Even the hula hoopy spinners in Utah. I will also agree, though, one more thing before, you know, yeah, you want to go back to lurking and working. I get it. There is very much like a resort-specific threshold as well. If you're riding at Park City in Utah, the expectation of a 720 is much higher than if you're riding at Stevens Pass. Right? Because the progression level of specific resorts is different. Even then, though, if you do a really clean 720, it is impressive still. Now, if you're talking about just landing it being impressive, I don't remember a single time that's ever been the case. Personally. There have been times where when you see someone do that hula hoopy spin and they land, all right, I'm impressed you're not dead right now. So there's a little bit of that. I can see that one. But we're not counting that. Right? We're going to ignore those cases at least. If they keep landing it, well then, okay, something's up here. Are they doing that on purpose? Like, all right, well that's way less impressive. Okay, so looking at their index template, we want to actually look at a different part. Not where the recording starts, but where we're actually loading the file. So they read the file in as an array buffer. And that's where they put it into the file reader. We see load file get called way up here. That's not what we're looking for. Where's load whisper? That's when we load the model. We don't care about that part either. Load audio. This is the uploaded file. Interesting. That we don't care about. They create the context there if it's not created yet, which is fine. The onload, we want to take the file, right? And this happens when an upload happens instead. So instead of doing the download, I might just want to do like an upload. That's not a bad idea. So that could be it. In our code, right, we can create a hacky upload, like input, upload the file via that input. If we upload the file via the input, then we get one of these files, and then we got to do just, you know, our parsing stuff. Pass it into a file reader. That might be the move. Okay, so let me leave myself a note because I need to get some food in my belly, and we're going to be playing some Baldur's Gate 3 over on Gaming Stream with Worm and James. So I got to get some food in my belly. Wow, your life is sad. What a troll. Valid crit is a definite ban evader. Yeah, so I think that's what we're going to leave off on. Leaving off, ooh, they're going to autocomplete for now. Sure, we'll let that autocomplete happen. Next steps, upload audio and try to process that. Upload JFK audio. So that'll be a better test. And their life is just so sad. Yeah, that troll we just banned went and made the same comment over on YouTube, too. Like, really sad. Feel sorry for him almost. So I don't think we need the copy to channel stuff, because, right? Like, we're not even doing the audio buffer thing. So we can get rid of that part. Yeah, the fact that this isn't the right length is almost a hint that we're not fetching our data right. So I think the upload is a good move. At least at that point, we can check to see if we're getting the same, like, length for the audio. So I think that's our step for tomorrow. So yep, there we go. That's our thing. Let's figure out who to go raid. Who's streaming right now? Let's go raid Algo Bro. Damn, he's 7 hours in. It's a long stream. Yeah, let's go see what he's up to. I think he's in follower-only chat, and that's fine. And yeah, let's go see what he's up to. So, see you guys over there. See the rest of y'all over on Gaming Stream. If you're not aware of Gaming Stream, let's go hang out there. And I will see y'all soon. Later.